you guys can fly up and then carry.
Yeah, final one.
Anybody else want a hot dog? Oh, what stage did you make it to? I know. Good job.
Mom, look in here. Look at it. Lily.
They're doing face painting.
They raised all these lovely little fry here for us to release today. So working in partnership to raise fish to help Swift Creek population. So it was very, I had fun last year and I try to come out to this event every year. Before we release the fish, we're going to just do a little bit of an offering, just to ask the Creator to wish these fish a safe journey. They're going to go into a very swift creek. So help them to protect and their journey into the system and further down into the waters, and that they come back in a few years as adults. And I just wanted to say a quick gem to Spruce City Wilderness and all their staff for doing such an amazing job with these fry and raising them. I know that many hands make light work and that they have an awesome team that they work together. So on just behalf of Chief and Council and my community, I'd like to welcome everybody here, and I hope that you have a really good day. And if you wanted to join me, I'm just going to go down to the side here and just do a little offering, a traditional tobacco offering. So you're welcome to do that if you're wanting to. Mayor.
Thanks very much, Councillor Donald. Again, thank you for joining us. My name is Owen Torgerson, Mayor of Village Valemount. Thank you for joining us in the Northern Territory of Simp First Nation. Awesome partnership with Valemount Community Forest, Tourism Valemount, Spruce City, and Simp as well. Really looking forward. This is the 4th year of the salmon release. It sounds like over the 4 years it's been 92,492 salmon fry released. Quick math. And the journey typically takes about 5 years, with a hopeful, not taking any thunder away from Dustin and his team, hopeful for about a 1% return. So maybe I can turn it over to you, Dustin, to give us a bit of a history of the program and what we're all here for to see.
For sure. Awesome. Well, again, thank you all for coming. Again, we're honored to be here in Simp territory, taking part in this event and doing the good work that we do. I'd like to just acknowledge the great partnership with Tina and her fisheries team and all of Simp, as well as the Village of Valemount, Tourism Valemount. It's been awesome to see the small community kind of rally around this cause, and seeing an awesome turnout like this on a beautiful day. It's great. So thank you all, and thank you to all of our partners. So we started this program a few years ago. Many of you may or may not know that all of the Upper Fraser Chinook stocks are considered endangered. So these are a spring 5-2, sorry. So spring meaning they migrate into the Fraser in the spring, and 5-2 meaning they have a 5-year life cycle, 2 of which of those years will be spent in the freshwater. So they'll spend 2 years making their way out to the ocean, 3 years in the ocean, and then they'll head back up here to spawn. So we are hoping from these guys, in a perfect world situation, which we don't always have, in a perfect world situation, we're hoping for a 5% return. But average in the wild is more so about the 1%. If we get somewhere in the middle there, we're happy. We come out here every August to do our brood capture. Again, it's awesome to have the welcome in Valemount. Everybody knows who we are. We talk to the tourists, we talk to the locals. Everybody likes to get involved, know how things are going, and know how the Chinook returns are looking. So although we are in a situation where these runs are endangered, we're doing what we do to give the stock a bit of a boost, hopefully get that higher return, And in a perfect world, again, we want to be able to get this run to a sustainable level where we can step away and let nature take its course without our hands being in there. For now, it's better with our hands being in there. So I'll be around the whole time. Feel free to come up and ask questions. And again, on behalf of Spruce City Wildlife, SIMP, Village of Valemount, Tourism Valemount, and everybody who's involved, we appreciate you guys coming out today. And we'll be getting started here to release a whole whack of fry. So thank you.
I have Ainsley here from Community Forest who would like to say a few words as well. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us. This is a great chance for us to partner with SIMC and Spruce City Wildlife Association, and this is the first year we've been asked to contribute, and I hope not the last year. And fish habitat, fish populations are very important to the community forest as well as everyone else. And I congratulate you on your success of building this event and helping with the survival of the salmon. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Tourism Valemount Board of Directors, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and thanks so much to our partnership with the SIP, the Village of Valemount, and Spruce City Wildlife Association for this, and for our sponsor this year, Community Forest, and for our sponsors of the barbecue, IGA. Woo! Thank you very much, and have a great time.
Thank you.
No, give them a name. Here they go. Safe journey. Come back as adults. There they go. Oh, into the creek.
They're in the river.
Good job.
Woo!
Everybody get it
Woo!
1, 2, 3.
Whoa! Mine are winning! Mine are
Quick!
There you go. Good job. Good job, Michael. Keep pouring, keep pouring. You got one more in there. There you go. Good job. Keep going, keep going. Keep going there. There you go. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Still go. Look at them go. Woo-hoo. Into the creek. Good job. Look at them go. Look how big those are. I think you hit the big half of the creek away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a big one too. Yeah. Good. I've been watching them on Facebook when she posted pictures of them.
Go, there we go.
It goes.
Thank you.
There he goes. Can I put it there? Thank you. As Blaine would say, y'all come back now. You hear?
Yeah, please, somebody make it.
Well, I'm here at the banks of Swift Creek on a beautiful, beautiful day here, and we're here with Dustin Snyder, who is the president of the Spruce City Wildlife Association. Dustin, welcome back to Valemount.
Thank you so much for having us. We love being here.
Yeah, it's a great event, another good turnout here, and a spectacular day for it. Can you tell us how many fry were released today?
So we have just over 8,800. We left Prince George today with 8,845.
Okay, so a little bit less. Why a little bit less this year than there has been in the past?
So whenever we bring eggs into the hatchery, we do disease testing on them to make sure one negative impact that hatcheries can have is that if we do have a fish that has a disease or some sort of negative genetic factor, we will have great success with that fish as well, and then we're putting back more fish that are diseased and that sort of thing. So we had one fish come back that had about 6,000 eggs, and she was hot, which means a high level of bacterial kidney disease. So that's something that we don't want to spread in the wild, so we had to take those eggs, unfortunately, and terminate them. The upside, if you want to find the silver lining, is that had we not captured that female, she would have produced in the wild, and that bacterial kidney disease would have spread in the wild. So the upside from a volunteer perspective, because it was heartbreaking to see those 5,000, 6,000 eggs pulled out of the system, the upside is that hopefully it still makes for a better return in the future, taking that disease out of the system.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing, when you were talking, you were explaining about the cycle, the 5 and 2 you were talking about, and a question occurred to me. How is it that salmon can be freshwater and saltwater fish in the same salmon?
Yeah, that's kind of one of those anomalies of nature. They've just kind of developed that way, and they've figured out a system, and that's super unique that, you know, they develop kind of their juvenile life 2 years in the freshwater and then head out to the saltwater and change into the large salmon that return, and then same thing when they come back and they hit the freshwater again. They actually won't eat anything once they hit the mouth of the Fraser. So you think all the way up here it'd be one heck of a swim, and they don't stop for snacks the whole way.
And then you come back here sometime in the spawn in August and collect some more eggs, is that right?
Yeah, you bet, mid-August. So our quota this year is increasing. So we were at 20,000 last year, and this year we're hoping to collect 30,000 eggs. All 30,000 of those will be tagged with the Coded Wire Tag program next year.
Okay, well let's expand on that, because I found that really interesting. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So the Coded Wire Tag program is really, really neat. Essentially what it is we'll raise these fry to a 2-gram size, and just above their back, kind of 3/4 way down their back, is a tiny little fin called the adipose fin. So when they hit about 2 grams, we snip off that little fin, and what this does is this will identify them in the wild, in the salt water, as a hatchery fish. So what's important about that is at the same time that we clip off that little adipose fin, we also take a microscopic piece of wire that has a unique number on it, and we put that just inside the snout of that little juvenile fish. So without that adipose fin, as it's swimming around the ocean, if it gets picked up in any fisheries whatsoever, commercial, recreational, anything like that, the person who harvested that fish is asked to submit the head to the Department of Fisheries. The Department of Fisheries will then send that to the lab, and they will go through that adult Chinook head to find that teeny tiny little piece of wire, put it under a microscope, and that number will then let the Department of Fisheries know, as well as us know, where that fish was caught, but also where that fish was released and when. So we'll be able to know or get a better idea of where those fish are migrating, when, and how old they are when they're picked up in certain areas. That's something that's never been collected in this area before. So because we're so far at the top of the system, this is going to give us a lot of really important information where we're currently data deficient, and we need as much information as possible on these stocks, especially because they're in a threatened or endangered status right now. We want to make sure that we're gathering as much information as possible to be able to make more informed decisions in their management in the future.
Great. Well, we have a picture that you sent, and they're pretty tiny. Can you tell us about how big they are?
They are, so on the tip of my finger, which is the picture I sent you, you can see this tiny little silver piece, almost looks like a little sliver I pulled out of my finger. That's actually 3 of them squished together. So they are just super, super tiny, and again, too, there's no way you would see the number on them without a microscope.
And how are they implanted?
So there's a machine, actually. It has kind of this helmet almost, we called it. So we take the fish and we'll put them in a solution that kind of calms them down, puts them to sleep for a little while. We'll clip off that adipose, we put that helmet on their head, and we hit a button, and it's just a very quick kind of like boop, and it just pushes that wire in.
You make it sound pretty easy, but these are real tiny fish.
These are really tiny fish. It took our volunteers. We had a volunteer crew of about, I'd say about 6 or 8, as well as 2 staff from the Department of Fisheries help us, and it took us a full 2 days to do the 8,800 fry. So it wasn't fast work, and it's not easy work. It's very kind of, everything you're dealing with is very small, and you got to be very careful. But yeah, we were successful, and we're very happy.
And what kind of data are you hoping to collect from this?
So this is going to give us any not only harvest data, so although I mentioned a lot of information about where they're picked up in the saltwater or in the Fraser as they're being harvested, but this is going to give us important information that we haven't had before either on what's returning. So currently, for the past few years, we haven't marked our fish in any way. So it's possible that we've already caught some of our fish when we're here at spawning season, but we'd never be able to tell them apart because they look just like the wild fish. So now that we've removed that adipose, we'll get a really good idea. If we're out here in 4 to 6 years collecting brood again, we'll be able to get a really good idea of what is actually returning from what we've released. Because the fish also have like a 4 to 7 year return time frame, they can return kind of any time. Majority of them will return at 5 years, but they'll return any time within that 3 year time frame. This will also give us the same information that we can also take that head, find the tag in it, and look at the tag number. We'll be able to kind of determine what year that fish was released, so we'll be able to know what age they're actually returning at. Because again, too, we're assuming that the majority of them return at 5, and we believe the majority of them returning at 5, but we don't actually have that data. We're working off of old data. So again, updating those databases and getting that information is going to be huge with regards to managing these fish moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like something that would be almost a dream to get through the Department of Fisheries and Oceans. How did you do that?
It actually, since the Big Bar landslide, there has been a pretty good investment in the Upper Fraser. There's been a lot more attention paid to the Upper Fraser. And what we're doing right now is trying to make sure that we keep that pressure on the government to keep the resources here. The most recent government, well, I guess before the recent election, they had invested some money into what was called PSSI, that's the Pacific Salmon Strategy Initiative, and the Upper Fraser received some good funds from that. So we had 2 habitat staff who were allocated in Prince George. We haven't had habitat staff in Prince George for almost 2 decades. So being able to have those resources has been really beneficial for us. We've been able to get some habitat projects off the ground. They've been able to help us acquire the funding and resources and able to do those habitat projects. But PSSI funding runs up in 2026. So one thing that we're trying to make sure that we're continuously advocating with government is making sure that we continue to have those resources, because these fish aren't out of trouble yet. They are still classified as endangered and threatened. We need to make sure that we keep those resources here to be able to continue their betterment and get them into a sustainable situation.
Well, great. Thank you very much for fighting the fight, and it's going to be wonderful to start to see the numbers come back up shortly, hopefully.
You bet. Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. We've been talking actually about the first person that captures an adult here, one of our volunteers that doesn't have an adipose. We're pretty sure there's going to be tears in our eyes. Good tears, happy tears.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks again for coming, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next year, and with an even bigger release probably.
You bet. Awesome. Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Marcy, a great turnout today.
It's been awesome. We've had people from all over the world here today, including Valemount.
Wow. Well, why is this an important event?
This is our way to give back and to help out ecosystem that is in much need with the Chinook salmon, and it's a great partnership that we have with the SIMF and Spruce City Wildlife Association. We're also very grateful that IGA stepped up to do the barbecue this year, and Valemount Community Forest also contributed to this event today too.
Yeah, that is great, and a nice turnout on a spectacular day. Now, I understand that you're also a volunteer with Spruce City, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I helped capture the brood for this year's launch of the salmon fry.
And I see there's a tremendous amount of kids here. Why do you think it's important for the kids to be here?
The biggest part for me in doing this and why I'm a volunteer is the connection with family, with the river, and with the community. This way, enable to work with these great organizations to bring these fish back and to get the numbers stronger. These children will be able to see these fish year after year and bring their children and their children. So that's for the future generations that we're working so hard together.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great that you have such great sponsors and dedicated volunteers for this. And it's something that's been going on for a number of years and will continue. And we had a chat with Dustin, and unfortunately this year there was an issue with some disease amongst the fry, and they had to cull a bit of that. But next year it should come back, and we're looking forward to seeing the numbers up, maybe even starting this year from a few years ago.
That would be wonderful to see. It's so exciting when you do see those salmon come back, and people can come and see them usually mid-August to beginning of September right here at the salmon viewing deck. Be sure to come early in the morning, because when it gets hot like this, they're in deeper water.
Right, absolutely. And so in the area, where are there other places other than the salmon viewing platform here to see salmon?
A really cool place to go to is Rearguard Falls. That's the furthest place that the Chinook salmon go, and they try to jump over the falls. So that's usually around beginning to mid-September that you can see that. You have to be very patient though.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for organizing this event and being part of it. And doing what you're doing with Spruce City. I think it's a really important thing to, as you said, for the future generations, so that we can once again look back and see these rivers stocked with salmon.
Thank you very much, Michael, and thank you for your time with this as well.
Hey, great. See you later.
Thank you.
Get ready?
Good job.
Look at them go. Awesome.